Hello, guys. My name is Jesse. Welcome to Talk Rice to Me.
I'm Jay.
Brandon.
Michael.
There's a saying my brother actually told me a long time. He says, "Scare money don't make no money."
Yep.
It's true.
Yep. And there's another thing I saw. They said the best entrepreneurs are the ones that can handle the most risk, or they're willing to risk the most.
Yeah, you got to risk it for the biscuit.
Yeah, risk it for the biscuit.
Yeah.
Like they give. He's a bad example, but like Kanye West, like this man will go broke, and then he'll be a billionaire, and then he'll go broke again, and then he'll be for just doing the most wildly outlandish stuff. But they're saying like that's probably what makes him have those big swings. So
You guys know who Dana White is, right?
yes,
Dude, you know he's like one of the great. So not only him, but you guys know Phil Mickelson, the golfer.
yeah.
So trust me, I mean, these stories are pretty out there, so I'm pretty sure that they don't like care that we're talking about it. But those guys are some of the biggest gamblers in the world.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm telling you right now, Dana White would go to Caesars, and he would bet like $300,000 a hand in blackjack.
300,000.
$300,000. Yeah. And on YouTube, like you see like him betting like, 30 grand or whatever on like Red Rock, but he's just, that's just play money for him. When he's going for real, he goes to Caesars and bets 300,000 a hand, and he wins $1 million a night, and he just leaves. That dude, I'm telling you, is like crazy.
The funny thing, you mentioned Phil Mickelson, and the way he plays golf is extremely risky. Like he goes for broke every single time, like he's gambling. And it's funny, he was sponsored by someone else. It's kind of similar to what they say about Michael Jordan. They said he was sponsored by someone. Again, he was gambling a lot, and then he suddenly switched. And like, why did he switch? They're like, oh, because this company promised to pay off all his gambling debts.
Dang.
And I think they said it was like a couple million. Like I think they say for Michael Jordan, Nike paid off like $30 million in gambling debt or something.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, Phil I hear that like he used to. I don't know about now, but he used to wager about $1 billion a year. A wager, yeah. So I heard, and then he would go to he would bet like off seas because a lot of people don't want that much action.
Mm-hmm.
But apparently he's pretty popular because he won this really big bet, like this Ravens future. I think they like won the Super Bowl like a long time ago with Joe Flacco, and I think he won a lot from that.
But he bet on that game.
No, on the I think preseason.
Oh.
He was just like, I think the Ravens are gonna win, and then they ended up winning. So then yeah, he made like a whole bunch.
Who do you think's going to win this year?
This year, man, I know you're a Bengals fan. I want to say the Bengals, man, but we'll see. It's tough because usually the teams that win the Super Bowls have pretty solid defenses as well.
It's all about defense.
Yeah, it's all about defense. So Bengals, I know last year was kind of struggling. Yeah. This year, we'll see. But and then a lot of people are super high on the Jets, and a lot of the professional bettors that I talk to, really high on the Eagles.
Really?
Really high on the Eagles.
Wait, are bettors high on the Jets?
The sharp bettors the small circle I talk to they're not. They think they're overbought.
Oh my God! Thank you, Jesus.
Yeah.
This is just me. I think Aaron Rodgers is so overrated. I think he is right now. He is the most overrated player in the NFL because he won a Super Bowl early in his career when he had a really, really good defense and absolutely done nothing since.
Yeah, no, I could see that. I mean, I would still say in the league right now, he's still probably a top 5 quarterback. I still have to say.
No way.
I want to preface something. My brother is what is it called? I don't want to say a contrarian, but when it comes to football, or he has the hottest of hot takes. Like every season, he'll have like one hot take that is ridiculous. You know what I'm talking about? Like completely off the wall.
What was the last season?
Not every season, but most seasons. Like
who's gonna be the
Russell
AFC
Wilson? Like Russell
champion?
Wilson before he went, he said Russell Wilson is garbage. And this was like when he was really good, and he went to the Broncos. He's like he's gonna do terrible, and it worked out. And then he was right. And then he.
Le'Veon Bell. Remember me and Brandon had a discussion years ago. I said Le'Veon Bell he's like the definition of a system back. There's nothing transcendent about him. And then we had an argument because he's a transcendent because you were like, I'm a Bengals fan. I hate the Steelers. He is a transcendent back. I said there's nothing nice about him.
Yeah, but look at the NFL now. He was one of the first guys to be a catching running back.
I understand that, but the reason why I say he wasn't transcendent was because there was nothing special about him. Like he was a product of that offense. That's all I'm saying. But like take him because like my biggest thing when it comes to athletes and when they're overrated is when somebody can duplicate that exact same productivity in the same exact system. Like when Le'Veon Bell, like when James Conner came out and straight blew up, basically the same exact thing because Le'Veon Bell's nothing.
Wait. I do want to say one thing though. So we were talking about this yesterday, and I told my brother, I said, I understand his viewpoint, but at the same time, I remember because I had James Conner that year in fantasy, the year after Le'Veon Bell, and I remember he didn't put up like 2,000 scrimmage yards.
Bro, he put up
he put up a lot. It was a lot. But I will say, I told him, Le'Veon Bell was a perfect player for that system because he like matched it perfectly. But yeah, if he went to anyone else, like he didn't do as good. So, but that's just like off basis.
So
Like,
who do you guys think is going to the Super Bowl?
Definitely not the Jets. Everybody's high on the Jets. I don't think it's the Jets.
Okay.
I don't really like to say like one team, but I'll say that I can give you like AFC, NFC Championship.
Okay, go ahead.
I'll say NFC. I think it's going to be the 49ers. 'Cause I think that
Like they're the champions? of
no. I
NFC?
don't see they're the champions.
Oh, okay.
I don't really like to go that far. I just think that they probably have one of the most complete teams, and I think that what makes a really good squad is I saw this somewhere a long time ago, and I read it was some coach said it. It goes like a good team is built around 6 players. Every like the best teams has 6 players that if you can identify those 6 players, they're probably going to go pretty far, maybe and probably like be in the AFC or NFC Championship. And that's you want a really, really, really good quarterback, a really, really, really good like a lineman, and then you want some type of like really, really good like playmaker.
yeah.
Like they have to be like top 10 at their position, like a top 10 quarterback, a top 10 lineman, and like a top 10 like playmaker, whether it's a receiver or a running back. And on defense, you want a top 10 player at each level of your defense as well. And if you have those 6 players, you're probably going to be a really good squad.
Okay. Well, so let's say the 49ers, so without Brandon Ayuk.
oh
I think Brandon Ayuk is going to sign
no,
because I think they have to give in.
well,
Well, even without Ayuk, they still have.
Trent Williams, I guess.
Well, the weapons-wise, what Jesse's talking about, the weapons, they still have Debo, they still have Kittle, they still have McCaffrey, who are all, I would say, well, besides Debo, I would say are top.
I'm about to say
McCaffrey's number 1. Kittle's definitely top 3 tight ends in the league.
yeah.
So it's funny you just a little tangent when I was talking about Le'Veon Bell earlier. To me, Christian McCaffrey is a transcendent back because when he was with Carolina, he was arguably a top 5 running back, and now he's in San Francisco, the top 5 running back. To me, I was like Le'Veon Bell. Once he leaves Pittsburgh, he's nothing. He's a pedestrian. That's
fair.
why I said he was.
All right, going back to the 49ers though, can't they not pay Ayuk? Well, if they pay him,
It's
they
like
can't.
30 mil.
Yeah, it's like 30 mil, and then Purdy's up for. They need to pay him like next year, so they literally can't
They're
pay
paying
him.
Purdy like $55 million or something.
Yeah, they're gonna have to pay him.
Yeah.
And then I saw it on TikTok actually. They said they're posting. People are roasting Deebo Samuel right now
I saw that.
because they were like, this man, great. It's like what you said about Tyreek Hill a couple years ago. He said he's a great offensive weapon, but he cannot run a route to save
Who's
his
this?
life. Deebo Samuel.
Oh, he's not a number 1 receiver.
Yeah, that's what they're saying.
not
They're
a
like,
number 1
they
receiver.
were like, they're roasting him. They're like, this is what Brandon Ayuk does, and this is what Deebo Samuel does. And they were saying that if they get rid of anyone, they want to get rid of Deebo.
It's got to be Debo.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's true. He was like, he had a pretty tough time in playoffs, right?
yeah. But that's the problem. They say it's like, yeah, they want to get rid of Deebo, but I think they said like the story around the league is other teams don't know if they can use him like the 49ers can, and then pay him what they have to pay him. So they're kind of like the 49ers. They built the monster that they're dealing with.
So is Brock Purdy a top 8 quarterback in the league right now going in?
I would say so. Okay, so Brock Purdy to me is the modern day Tom Brady.
Dang.
Dang.
Because-
That's high praise,
because-
man. That's
because-
high praise.
Because this is my reasoning for it. I'm saying that it's his like. It's funny how his career trajectory is kind of similar to Tom Brady's in a sense that he was basically came into the league on a really, really, really good squad from the get go. So he has a supporting cast. Because at the end of the day, I feel like there are a lot of good players out there who don't actually end up being as good because of their environment, because of their team, because of their coaching and stuff like that. But like with Tom Brady, he's the GOAT. But I think that he would not be who he is today if he did not go to the New England Patriots and thrive under that system and develop. And I'm not saying that Brock Purdy's gonna be Tom Brady, but I'm saying that it's the fact that he was such a low draft pick. There was nothing spectacular about his game, but he does everything right, and he's just basically on a really, really good squad. So he can basically become a Tom Brady-esque player, somebody who's not like great at anything, but still really good at the game. That's the way I see it. I'm not saying he's Tom Brady. I'm not saying he's going to be Tom Brady. I'm saying he's like eerily similar to Tom Brady. That's all I'm saying. Is he a top 10 quarterback? It's kind of hard to argue that he's not a top 10 quarterback. Is he a transcendent quarterback? I don't know. But based off the product of the offense of what he can do, it's hard to say that he's not a top 10 quarterback. Top 5, I don't know. Top 10, maybe.
Can I ask you something? Do you think people struggle with saying Brock Purdy is like a certain quarterback because he has no sex appeal? Does that make sense?
No, it makes sense.
But you know what I mean?
He
Because
looks like a kid.
yeah, because every other quarterback, you'll be like, oh, Patrick Mahomes, cannon arm. He's just elusive. Lamar Jackson, super athletic. Josh Allen, cannon arm or something like that. Brock Purdy, what does he have?
That's why I said Tom Brady, because when he came to the league,
that's my point. But I'm saying, don't you think that's the reason why people don't say he's like a top 5, top 10? Because he has no sex appeal. Like you have nothing about him that you're like, dude, he just is so much better than everyone else in the league at this.
Yeah.
You know, one weapon that Brock Purdy does have that like everyone underestimated in the playoffs was he could actually run the ball.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he had some clutch plays, right? So yeah, I mean that's crazy. But in my opinion, the NFC winner is probably going to be the Lions.
That's my second pick. That's my second pick. So
I'm saying
my other second pick when I said the NFC Championship, I think it's going to be the Lions and the 49ers.
They're stacked. I mean, Jared Goff is also, in my opinion, I think he's he's underrated. This season too, I think they have a pretty favorable schedule. They're playing a lot of indoor games this year. So
you sound like a real better.
Yeah.
No, everybody knows. Everybody knows Jared Goff plays well indoors.
Is he the new Drew Brees or something?
I think they only play like 4 outdoor games. I could be wrong about that.
He's really bad outdoors.
He truly is the new Drew Brees. Wow.
So for me, when I look at a team also, I look at the offensive line. And then to me, I think that in the NFC, it's hard to argue that the 49ers and the Lions don't have the best lines.
Yeah.
But then when it comes to the Eagles, I know the Eagles have a good line, but just me, I'm not a believer in Jalen Hurts. I don't think he is as good as the media likes to put him out to be.
A lot of the quarterbacks in the NFL will actually put Jalen Hurts as like a top 5 quarterback. Like if you play against them, if you were to ask, a lot of quarterbacks in the NFL or a lot of defenses, if you ask them like who's the best quarterback, they'll say like Jalen Hurts because he's dual threat, Lamar Jackson dual threat. So it's like interesting. So I kind of take that into consideration, thinking like, I got to put him at like a top 10 quarterback in the league.
Okay. Yeah. So top 2 for you in the NFC. Who you picking?
It's gonna be the Lions, and I mean, I guess to be honest with you, the 49ers. I think they're gonna have like a
regression.
I think so. I think they're gonna go maybe like 10-7 this year.
Okay.
I think, yeah, because I know a lot of people are they're favored in like every game, but I don't know. Like I just don't really see because they didn't really change like a whole lot, right? And then I think a lot of the teams going in, there's not like a whole. I think they're going to change up the schemes a lot. So the 49ers, it's going to be really hard for them to have the correct defensive schemes. I think for these newer up and coming teams, and the NFL is a tough game. Anything can happen week by week, right? I feel like the 49ers will start breaking down.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about you, Brandon? I know you. Who do you think? You don't have to say a winner, but who do you think the top 2 teams in the NFC are? NFC Championship game.
I'm going to say the Lions with you guys, and I think the Eagles will be there. I don't think the 49ers because, just to piggyback off what you said, they are pretty much the same team, but they definitely lost players. They lost Armstead on defensive line.
Oh, dang.
I don't know if you guys heard, but Trent Williams is going to hold out if he doesn't get a restructured
Oh,
contract.
he is.
Yes.
Yeah, they need to keep Trent Williams. If they don't have Trent Williams, I think might have a 9-8 season.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I actually saw stats. I actually saw a tweet today about Purdy stats when Trent Williams doesn't play, and it's
It's
pretty
bad.
It's really
yeah.
bad. I don't think they have a good offensive line besides Trent Williams.
They lost a couple people, right?
That and I think Trent Williams is just like the big name.
Okay. So you agree with me? It comes down to the offensive line. I'm high on the lines because of Decker and Sewell and Ragro.
Yeah,
They got
and
that
I mean,
trio.
and if you just go back to last year, the Lions should have been in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, 100%.
So I mean, and they only got better this year. They added DJ Reader.
They
added
only- yeah.
They added 2 corners, one in the draft and then one from Tampa.
You know, the big sleeper is gonna be Atlanta, the Falcons.
Really?
Big sleeper, yeah. You know, because a lot of people were scared of them because they said that their defense was like not good or whatever, but they drafted like 2 like really good. I think 1 linebacker and 1 cornerback, like really good cornerback. So they kind of shored up their defense a little bit, which I know like everyone's like mad at them because they drafted Michael Penix Jr.
Uh-huh.
I don't
But
think- I'm not gonna lie. I don't disagree with that.
I mean, I don't either, to be honest with you, because I mean, you never know. Like, I mean, Kirk Cousins might just, you know what I mean, get another injury. You never know, right? So if that happens, they might have a struggling year, but I think Michael Penix is like a pretty decent quarterback.
I had one of my boys. He when Jordan Love got drafted, he went on a raging rant about it. I'm like, dude, it's the right move. It's the right move. I'm like, it's the right, because at the end of the day, it's like, I think that if you draft and you develop the quarterback, usually in most cases it always works out. And in this case, for the Green Bay Packers, it's like a transition. And like I said, Aaron Rodgers was just a product of that offense. That's just my opinion, because Jordan Love came in and he's doing great.
We can agree to disagree, but then, all right, who do y'all think is going to be AFC?
It's gonna be the Chiefs.
It's gonna be the Chiefs.
Okay, who else? Who's the other side?
I mean,
I have my opinion, but
I like the Ravens, I guess, but to be honest with you, they lost a lot to free agency. They do have like the Derrick Henry thing, but I'm not super like sold on the idea that they're gonna be like super like really unstoppable with the run game or whatever. But we'll see. I mean, it's gonna be a tough year.
Yeah.
I think so. We'll see.
Because I will say this, 'cause Jesse and Brandon always point this out. Like I said, I'm a massive Lamar Jackson fan. Like the year before he won the Heisman, I was already high. I was high on him. Like, this man's a dog. And they point something else, which is very true. It's like, until this guy can win a game with his arm in the playoffs, like, it's hard to bet for them. And then from the outside looking in, I was like, they were already like the #1 run offense last year, right? So they're going to be like even more of a #1 running offense, I guess.
But you got to understand that running the ball is actually smarter because it decreases your chance of turnovers.
Yeah,
and
no,
you control the clock.
Yeah, I get 100%. I get 100%.
They
trust
were
me.
definitely the '1 team in the league last year.
Yeah.
I
Ravens.
think they had the #1 defense and offense.
They were the #1 team. They should have won the Super Bowl, in my opinion.
I remember watching that game, and I think we all kind of, I forgot who I was talking to about this, but I said that I think Lamar Jackson was trying too hard to like play to what people thought he should play like. Instead of running the ball, he was like, no, I'm gonna win with my arm. He would just like hold the ball.
Yeah,
And then also there was the fumble on the 1 yard line.
Zay Flowers.
Yeah, to Zay Flowers. Like, it literally fumbled on the 1 yard line, and then they basically wiped at least 3 points off the
And
board.
then, the Chiefs didn't have a very strong run defense, right? They couldn't really stop the run. So that was like really interesting. I think they were just trying to play checkers when they should have just played chess.
Yeah.
Right? So yeah, I think they just had the wrong game plan and it just kind of backfired.
Exactly.
Yeah.
What you, Brandon? Who do you think the top 2 are? AFC.
Unbiased.
Unbiased. I know what you want to
I know
say,
he's
but
gonna Bengals. Right? The Bengals are pretty good though this year. We'll see
Okay.
if Joe Burrow stays healthy.
you can say
Unbiased.
if you truly think it's the Bengals, you can say the Bengals.
Unbiased.
Bengals.
Bengals #1. We were winning a minimum of 11 games this year. But #2 either I hate to say it, but the Chiefs are always up there. But I think on paper, I think the Texans should be up there too.
Oh,
It's so funny you said that because, like, in my opinion, I think the top two teams in AFC are the Texans and the Chiefs. The reason why is because I think the Chiefs, because of Patrick Mahomes, because it's hard to argue that he's the best player in football, man.
yeah, man.
They loaded up their offense.
It's like, to me, it's like they are number one until somebody like upsets them, and number two, like my team is in the AFC South, and it's hard for me to admit it, but I think it's the Texans. I think it's the Texans is gonna be hard to beat.
You're a Titans fan?
I'm a Titans fan.
Titans.
I'm a Titans fan, but I will admit I think the Texans are gonna beat that squad. Their offense got better because, like, I don't think Diggs is. I don't think Diggs is as good as he is anymore, but I think he's gonna be really good for that offense because he makes a good second option. I think Nico Collins is still gonna be number one.
Did you say he's already
Nico
fighting?
Collins was crazy, man. That dude's insane.
Stroud, and you got to admit, Stroud is a top 5 quarterback in the league. I'm gonna say I think Stroud is a top 5
Yeah,
quarterback.
that
in
dude
this
has
league.
so much IQ, like football IQ too. Like it's crazy to argue with that, but
He's, to me, I told Brandon this. I said, dude, CJ Stroud is basically like Joe Burrow to me. Like to me, I don't think the skill gap between him and Joe Burrow are that far. Their skill wise, I think they're like on par with each other. And I think Joe Burrow is a top 5 quarterback. I think CJ Stroud is a top 5 quarterback. Yeah,
I think
and that defense, they added people on that defense.
that's true.
Wait, so CJ Stroud, one, that man plays with so much poise. Two, just see Stephon Diggs was like they like zoomed on him fighting with CJ Stroud, right? Like, man, this man's already causing problems. and then three, you said that the Chiefs loaded up on offense. What do they do?
Well now I don't know what's gonna happen, but Rashee Rice,
Oh yeah.
if he doesn't get suspended, he'll be besides Travis Kelce, he'll be the number one receiver. You got Hollywood Brown. They drafted Xavier Worthy. Pacheco's gonna be RB1.
You know, a lot of people are low on the new receivers for the Chiefs.
It's
this
better
year.
than last year.
I mean, yeah, that's true. I mean, I agree, but a lot of people are low on them for some reason. A lot of the sharp bettors. I don't know why, but
Wait, I have a question. What? Like I said, I'm not as deep into it now. Why has no one said Miami? Just a random question.
Dolphins?
Yeah, why not the Dolphins?
I mean, that's true. They did, I guess, improve, right? But I don't know. I feel like they have a pretty tough schedule, I think, right? So we'll see. They have a lot to prove. I mean, they might make a wild card round. I can definitely see that. But
I don't know, man.
I'm only saying because wasn't
know.
Jalen Ramsey like hurt for the majority of last year, and then one of their DNs was out for the whole year with a torn ACL.
yeah, they had a lot of injuries.
They had a ton of injuries on defense. I'm just saying. I'm not saying they should. I'm just giving.
But they struggle with teams that are rated like over 500. You know that?
Dang.
Yeah. So like they struggle with like the good teams. So like they struggle. So when they do if they do make it to the playoffs, they're not going to be the number one seed, right? So they're going to have to play in the wild card rounds. And I think, I mean, just historically speaking, they've just been struggling with like the really good teams who have like really good game plans for their schemes and stuff, you know?
Gotcha. That
Yeah.
makes sense.
So yeah, I'm not really super high on them. So
Okay, interesting. Yeah, I was just pondering because I don't know. I just saw the top 100 list. I saw Tyreek Hill was number 1, so I had to ask.
oh yeah, I was gonna say I think it's gonna be Lions and Eagles
Okay.
for the championship, and then I think it's gonna be the Chiefs. And to be honest with you, I want to say the Bengals, man.
My man.
Really?
I like the
Okay,
Bengals.
What is
Is that a reverse curse?
So this is the thing, man. Like if the Bengals, I think they got a smart team. I like their coaching. What I think they're gonna do is later on in the season, I think they're gonna try to pick up some like edge rusher, and then when that happens, I think they're gonna drastically improve as a team.
Y'all
They
should-
just have to improve their defense.
Y'all should re-sign Carl Lawson.
He just signed with the Cowboys, I think.
He did?
Yeah.
Oh,
You heard that Dak Prescott was trying to they're talking about him going to the Raiders.
Really?
Yeah, this is like kind of small talk, but
Do you think Dak Prescott's good? Do y'all think Dak Prescott's good?
Oh,
I don't know.
Do you-
I think if it's like a top 10 list, I think he's right at 10.
Okay, if I were to pick between him and Jalen Hurts, I think I would take Dak Prescott over Jalen Hurts.
Really?
Because this is just me, okay, and I could be completely wrong. This is just my opinion. Free country, I can have my opinion. I will always pick the quarterback who could throw the ball better than the one who runs, the dual threat. Because at the end of the day, I believe that your arm talent will always transcend your ability to run the ball.
Let me ask you something then. Josh Allen or Lamar Jackson?
I would say Lamar Jackson because I think that Josh Allen is too turnover prone. I think that because like also these is like whoever wins a turnover battle usually wins the game. So if you're turning over the ball too much, you're giving the ball away, and probably in good field position and everything. So it's like ball security and your ability to pass the rock efficiently.
So if Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson had like even turnovers, you would pick
Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson.
If Josh Allen was not a turnover prone person and had the same exact turnovers as Lamar Jackson on a year, you would pick Josh Allen, is what I'm saying.
That's a good question.
Because you were saying because he turns over the ball over too much. So I'm saying if he didn't turn over the ball too much, what would you say?
That's a hard one. Because the biggest one, the reason why I chose Lamar Jackson was because of Josh Allen's turnover. I think he has like the most turnovers of any player in the last like 6 or 7 years.
It's
and
like,
it's
not even close.
Yeah,
More
it's
than
not even
Jameis?
close. Bro, is not even close.
I'm kidding. That man had 30 picks, man.
But yeah, I don't know. I guess at that point it's a push
Yeah, it's tough.
because at the end of the day, Lamar Jackson hasn't really been that great in the playoffs either.
So what are all your top 5 teams right now
In the NFL?
in the NFL?
Damn.
So wouldn't it essentially be those top 4 teams we listed? And
I mean,
a fifth one?
I guess, but like ignoring NFC, AFC, and ignoring like like the records or whatever. But all the teams, the best teams right now, 1 to 5. It might be a little different.
It's weird for me. I would say I put like the Chiefs and the Ravens up there, and then
So 1 is Chiefs. 2, yeah.
To me, I'll put the Chiefs as 1 because they won, and then other than that, everyone they're all like tied.
Dang, all right.
Because I don't like nitpick and I don't look into the divisions as deeply as these two, but that's why I say like I'll put like the Ravens, and then even though I know the Ravens ended the season on an extreme hot streak, but I mean also the Lions, and I guess like the Texans. It's hard for me to say the Eagles just because I hate their fans. I'm just saying.
I wouldn't put the Texans that high.
And
personally.
then I mean I just feel like all right, they have another year to learn. I mean I really like CJ Stroud. Like I wasn't the hugest fan of him. I was like he just came out of nowhere, but he plays the game with so much poise. Like he does not look like a rookie. Like he looks so calm. It's ridiculous. And
I pity the fool that thought Bryce Young was going to be better than CJ Stroud.
Apparently, I think a lot of people are taking the overs for the Panthers, the win total.
Oh, I mean,
A lot of people are
what's the
taking it.
win total for them?
I think it was like 5.5. I think it's 5.5 right now. I think.
I'll say this: I don't
not
think
sure.
Bryce Young is that bad. I don't think he's
No,
that
he's
bad.
not.
I think he's like that. The situation was bad,
Yeah.
but there's no way in hell he should have been drafted over CJ Stroud.
We'll see.
Hey, when CJ Stroud and when Bryce Young played 1-on-1, Bryce Young's 1-0. So you know what I mean?
Hey, it's also yet to realize my college team that I like Ohio State. I'm a huge
true.
Ohio State fan.
True.
But hey, speaking of Ohio State, I will say though, I was thinking about this the other day, and let me ask you guys this though: who's wide receiver you?
What do you mean?
Like as a whole?
Wide receiver you. So
As a
like,
whole or
so
like
you
as
know
a
what
team?
wide receiver you is like. So in college football, there's always like certain schools that produce like the best like athletes. Right now, like a lot of people will argue that the top 5 wide receivers, like who produces the best wide receivers or which schools are like Ohio State, LSU, Alabama. I think USC's in there, and I think there's like one more.
I think to me it's just 4. It's just Ohio State, LSU, Alabama, and USC.
Okay,
I'll put. I mean, you can maybe slide Oklahoma in there, maybe.
I think Oklahoma is in there,
But
I don't know.
I have this thing we can say for another topic. I don't trust any receiver from that division of college.
CeeDee
the Big Ten.
Lamb.
Other than CeeDee Lamb.
CeeDee Lamb.
Other than CeeDee Lamb, I think if you come from that division, you are 90% chance you're gonna be a bust.
You know what player I really like?
Who?
He actually came from Georgia. Brock Bowers.
Brock Bowers.
Brock Bowers.
Oh, wow.
Playing for the Raiders.
He's
I'm telling
solid.
you.
He's solid.
I'm telling you, he might be like one of the best type. Like I mean, we'll see.
Yeah.
Better than
Yeah.
Kelsey.
I mean, Kelsey, I think he's gonna have an underperforming year this year. I'm
think-
gonna bet a lot of Kelsey's unders this year.
I think Brock Bowers. No, I agree. I think Brock Bowers he's a transcendent talent,
Mhm.
tentatively, because you never know. But I think he'll be held back by his quarterback play.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, we'll see. I
'Cause
mean,
I-
he is, yeah.
Because like if he got drafted to Kansas City,
You know, Gardner Minshew plays pickleball.
He does?
He's a big pickleball guy. Yeah.
Damn. I just know he's competitive, but what did you
Oh.
the wide receiver you?
oh yeah, Brandon. Yeah, what do you think?
Wide receiver, you like
Wide rec-
like as a whole, or like as of recent?
For just in general, who do you think is wide receiver you?
Like no, because I think he's asking
You-
that because if you say the last 4 years versus the last 10 years,
I
it's
know,
a different
I
answer.
know, Jay. So, okay, this is the reason why I asked. Okay, because I was thinking about it, and I think right now, a lot of people will say Ohio State. I'm an Ohio State fan, but low key, I actually think it's actually LSU, not Ohio State.
I can agree because I think there's more elite receivers, like top tier, like top five receivers, like Jamar obviously and
Jefferson.
Nobody from Ohio State is that close to them.
Okay, I think that if you go by pure volume, it's Ohio State.
Yeah, it is.
By pure volume, it's Ohio State. But you have to agree. But like in the last 5-6 years, it's Ohio State.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yes.
I think that the reason why I say LSU is actually wide receiver U is because I think because of the people that they produce, when they do come out, they always tend to be very good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They have very few of them end up being just like nobodies.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, at a lower percentage. But generally,
Yeah.
when they're drafted in the first round, they pretty good.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like one of the best good.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I did what he says.
That's coming from me from a Ohio State fan.
Yeah, I would say
I'll-
LSU. I would say like, just because like you can't go against. Yeah, they have 2 top 5 receivers in the NFL right now. Like, I'm sorry. Like,
Yeah.
and then what's his neighbors looks like he's probably gonna be like the #1 receiver this year.
Bro,
He's
I-
he's a beast. Like, and I completely understand. I do follow the draft a lot, or
A little bit.
like coming to the draft, I remember people were saying like, "Yo, neighbors might be better than Marvin Harrison because Marvin Harrison plays like his size, but neighbors plays like he's 6'6", like he's just huge. He's just a dog." And I'm like, okay, I can see that. And now he's just like tearing it up. Mind you, the only thing that might hold him back is quarterback play.
like I said, I love Marvin Harrison. Right?
Me too. Yeah.
I love Marvin Harrison, and like I said, I'm a Titans fan, so like I watched this guy's dad for years, so I hate him, but I love him, and I think he's really good. But I just think Neighbors got like a different type. You know what Neighbors reminds me of? He reminds me of Jamar
Jamar.
Chase. Like he
Looks
literally,
exactly like Jamar when
bro,
he plays.
exactly. When I watched Neighbors, like dude, this dude was like Jamar Chase like 2.0. He just got it. He just got that juice, man. And I think that down the line he can. I think he has the potential to be better than Marvin Harrison.
Wait, is he also the guy trending because of his accent?
No, that's
No.
Xavier Leggett.
Oh, okay, my bad.
That guy's funny.
That's Xavier. But earlier, so what was your pick for top 5 teams in
Top
NFL?
5 teams. Like you want it in order? I mean,
Doesn't
In
matter.
order. Yeah.
You can, how about this? We'll say you can go back to yours. What you top 5 teams? Who you win? Who you think will win the Super Bowl?
I mean, I guess like the Chiefs. I mean, have to be number 1.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
You think they're
number
gonna win?
2.
You think you're gonna win too?
I think they're gonna 3-peat.
Okay.
I think so. It's
You got a little
crazy.
bet going on there or something like
Yeah,
that?
I do. I think the Chiefs are gonna 3-peat because I mean, let's face it, like who's gonna dethrone them, right? So let's see.
Bengals.
Yeah,
The
or
only team-
Bengals.
The
Yeah,
only team that
That's
dethrone.
true.
The Titans.
yeah. So
Wait. I have a question then. If you, hypothetically speaking, you have money on the Chiefs and they're playing the Ravens, playing the Ravens in the AFC Championship game, who are you betting on?
oh baby. So in the playoffs, I mean, I gotta bet the Chiefs, man. Last year I bet the Ravens. I lost money.
happened.
I lost money there, but when with the when they played the 49ers, the Chiefs played the 49ers, I put like all my chips on the Chiefs. I like knew they were gonna win. And I was just like, there's like no way that Brock Purdy's gonna go in there and win the Super Bowl, right?
Mhm.
Uh-huh.
So yeah. I mean, historically speaking, it's like the better quarterback, right? Who wins the Super Bowl?
That's what I'm
Like
saying.
minus the Nick Foles game, right? The Eagles, but
Yeah,
you know.
and like Tom Brady's experiences with Eli Manning too.
I mean, it depends. I mean, that year, I mean, I don't know. So,
But anyway, you said Chiefs, and then who else?
so
after that?
Chiefs are number 1. Number 2 are gonna be the Lions. All right, and then number 3 is gonna be the trying to think if I'm not leaving anybody out. maybe I don't know why I'm super high on the Bengals this year. I think they're gonna figure it out. I think they're gonna figure it out.
Sitting right here.
No, seriously, I'm like I took some futures on the Bengals to win their division and stuff. So I think I'm pretty good high on the Bengals. Number 4 is gonna be, man, I don't know. I guess I gotta put the Ravens at 4, and then 5 I gotta put the Niners, right? But to be honest with you, I'm like tempted to put the Eagles over the Niners. To be
Dang.
honest with you, yeah. I'm that tough. It's tough. I mean, I don't know. I'm low on the Niners, but I don't know. Just historically speaking, like the teams that lose the Super Bowl tend to like not do very well the next year.
I
That's
know.
true.
I'm
You know what I
very
mean?
sharp, but you know, Brandon, did you know there's a stat that says that rookie quarterbacks that make it to the Super Bowl when during their rookie tenure, they never make it back to the Super Bowl ever again.
There you go.
First round quarterbacks that make the Super Bowl and lose has never ever made it back in their career ever.
That's insane.
It's a little different around here.
I will say this about the Bengals. There's one thing about the Bengals. It's not even like a player that they signed, but there's a coach that they signed. And I always say that wherever this coach goes, they have like a top 5 offensive line, and it's Bill Callahan.
They have him.
We have him.
Y'all have him.
We have
I
him.
thought he got signed away to the Bengals.
No, we have him.
Well, anyway, wherever that man goes, top 5 offensive line every time.
True. I heard about that. Yeah. With the Titans, right?
Yeah, he's like
Yeah.
a freaking offensive line whisperer. I don't know how that.
Hey,
He was with the Washington Redskins.
All
The line was
I'm
great.
gonna say is the Titans are gonna be better than what people think they are. I
We'll
know.
see.
I'm just saying the media always just rags on the Titans. We were thinking about that one season when we were the number 1 seed. We were the quietest number 1 seed that like ever existed. No one ever talked about us, but we were the only team that stayed the top the whole entire season. I'm not saying we're top 5. I'm not saying we're top 5, but I saying that.
How many wins you guys? What's your record? What do you say? Like, give me a low end and give me a high end.
I actually don't like to say that.
Oh, really?
I'm the type of person where I
Yeah,
don't like this. I don't like to do projections
Yeah.
because I think that I don't want to jinx them.
Oh. Yeah.
I'm the type of person where I just like leave it as is. I don't like to say what all I'm saying is I think they're gonna be better than what people think they are because a lot of people think they're gonna be like one of the worst teams in the NFL and they're probably gonna lose the AFC South. But in my opinion, I think that is a combination of first time head coach. Nobody knows what they're doing. They have that like surprise factor where they can catch a lot of teams off guard.
I can see that.
They have a lot of playmakers that like people think are washed. I'm like, people think DeAndre Hopkins washed. Like this man just had 1,000 yards on a terrible offense.
Do you remember that game they played against Miami last year?
Yeah,
They were like, it was like what 3 minutes left or
yeah.
something.
Came back by 17 points.
That's crazy.
I'm telling you, we're better than what people think.
That was nuts.
I'm
Remember
telling
that?
you, we're better than what people think.
Oh no.
Like I said, I don't think they're top 5 though. I don't think they're top 5, but I think they'll be better than what people think they are.
Okay.
Well, did you list all 5? Chiefs,
Yeah.
Lions,
What'd I say? I don't remember.
Chiefs, Lions,
Bengals.
Bengals,
49ers.
Actually, I
Ravens.
can't put the Bengals at 3, to be honest. I would put Ravens at 3.
Ravens, Bengals,
Yeah.
and then you flip-flop 49ers and Eagles.
4 is, I guess for now I'm going to put 4 as Bengals and 5 as the Niners.
Okay.
Brendan, what's yours?
I think the Bengals will win the Super Bowl. But I will put Chiefs number 1 because I think they have a better roster. But I think we're their kryptonite.
That's true.
Then I'll put the Bengals, and then I'll put the Lions, and then I will go. I'm gonna put Texans up there,
Woo.
and then I'll put the Eagles.
You guys are high on the Texans, huh?
I already put my 5,
Okay.
and that was like basically like his
All
kind
right.
of.
I got Chiefs, 49ers, in no particular order. Chiefs, 49ers, Lions, Texans, and I don't even know who to put at 5. I just only know those 4.
Okay. No Ravens, Eagles.
I don't know.
Bengals.
I just think that the Texans are just going to be hot this year.
Okay.
But then again, I also it's kind of a love-hate relationship with the Texans. I think they're going to be really good because on paper, but sometimes because you're really, really good on paper, it doesn't always translate to on-field success.
Yeah.
And there's also the possibility of them because, like I said earlier, usually a lot of times when there's like a first-time regime, new head coach and everything, they have that they got that pop, nobody sees it coming, and they just take it by storm. And I'm not saying that that the Texans were that last year, but there's a possibility it was that. And then they have some type of regression where there's more film on them. They're able to do analysis and they're able to stop them.
Like a sophomore slump.
Not a sophomore, but it's just that there's more data, so you know what they're doing. Before, like when there's not much tape, you can't really game plan because you don't know what they're doing. But like I said, I'm not saying the Texans are like that. I'm not saying that they aren't. I'm saying there's a possibility. So I'm saying there's a possibility that they, just because you add all those players, like the Eagle, it happened to the Eagles too. Remember, like they were so good at all these players, and they just didn't do anything a couple years ago. I think the Eagles are overrated, to be honest.
That's happened to them multiple times actually too. With the Michael Vick Eagles, it happened too. They sign all those people.
Big market teams are always more hyped up.
Yeah.
Small market teams are always put down.
Yeah.
Unless they do really well, like the Lions.
All right, so who's gonna be the Lions of this year? Or who's the Cinderella this year? Who you'll think?
You know what's crazy? Like, I think the Colts will do pretty well this year.
No, hell no, hell no.
Yo, I'm telling you right now, week 1, I know you got. Oh no, it's Colts and Texans, but we'll see.
Hell no. Hey, listen. I know we just met, but I'm telling you right now, hell no.
That's why I think the Colts are a sleeper.
Hell no. Okay, listen.
You might
You
have
struck a chord.
Last year, people want to say that the Colts were, oh my God, the Colts had such a talented roster. Yo, the Colts roster is not that nice. It hasn't been. Yo, the Colts hasn't done anything since Andrew Luck retired, and they ain't gonna do nothing. Because you're banking. The biggest thing is they're banking on, what's his name, Anthony Richardson.
Yeah.
Bro, this man hasn't really played.
That's true. Yeah, that's true.
You can't say someone's gonna really good be
But
barely
you saw
play.
him in the preseason.
Was he nice?
He was garbage against us.
It's preseason though.
Yeah,
They were
that's
pick
true. It's
six against us.
preseason.
It's
but like,
preseason.
I don't put too much on it, but Anthony Richardson. I mean, I think he has all the ability. So we'll see.
I think they finished last in their division.
Me
Really?
too.
Really?
too.
Okay, we'll see.
I just don't think they have the playmakers.
I don't think they're gonna. I mean, I can't really see them. Like, if you were to tell me like what's their odds of making the playoffs, I put them at like plus like
Over us?
150.
Over
like-
us? Do you think
I mean, they're not gonna be division leaders. I don't think. but
do you think they would, like, based off from a better standpoint, do you think they're gonna be better than us?
than the Titans. Man, I don't want to say, man. I don't know. I think.
I'm not, trust me.
Yeah,
I won't.
maybe,
I won't
maybe.
get offended.
I think.
I won't
I
get
think they're
offended.
gonna go like maybe 8-9 or 9-8 or something like that.
Okay.
They're gonna be there. I think they might even go 9-8 this
Okay.
year.
Because the only reason why I say is the only reason why I disagree. Like I said, if my team end up sucking, that's fine with me. I'm a realist. Okay, I keep it real. But in my opinion, from top to bottom, we are better than them across the entire board. In every position, we are better.
Really?
We are
So
better
you'll
than-
take Will Levis over Anthony Richardson?
Yes, because
Wow.
he's played more.
Yeah.
He's played more. He has this running back. Okay, the only thing that's it. They have JT's better.
Yeah. Jonathan
Our
Taylor.
line, even though think about it, we finished the worst line in the NFL. You can only go up, bro. You can only go up in 32.
Didn't they say, like, historically speaking, like the division that finished last the previous season always finishes? There's at least one division every year who like finishes last in their division and then they finish first next year.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I feel like there's gonna be a Cinderella.
I feel like it's gonna be Bengals, buddy. Right?
I mean, we had a bad year because the
This-
quarterback got hurt.
The story is there, man. It's set
It
up
is
for the
there.
Bengals, buddy.
It is.
Come on.
Yours is only bad because quarterback.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That's what I mean. There's got to be a Cinderella.
I wouldn't
this
call it a Cinderella if we came in first, but
year. You can say the Bengals is gonna be a Cinderella.
That's also the
Kinda,
reason
yeah.
why I think we're gonna do better is because Callahan, and he's proven to basically. I'm hopeful because he has a track record of developing quarterbacks.
Offensive
that-
line whisper,
Offensive line,
whisper, right
and
there.
then his dad, the coach, is the offensive line, and then him being like quarterback groomer or whatever. I don't know if it's gonna happen, but
Yeah.
I'm optimistic. I'm more optimistic than Anthony Richardson and the Colts. Come on.
I'm glad no one said the Commanders, man. I'm like, they might get
Nah.
3 wins,
I
maybe.
think the Cinderella is the Bears.
The Bears, really?
Oh wow.
I mean, Bears are. If you look at it from they're actually not. They're actually pretty decent, like all around.
Did they finish last in their division last year? Or was it the?
I'm trying to think of their record. I think they did finish last, yeah, because they lost. What's his name? The guy who went to the Steelers. Forgot his name.
Fields.
That was Jesse's hot take last year.
Justin Fields.
That was Jesse's hot take last year.
I think he's actually going to beat out Russell Wilson for the starting job.
No. Last year,
Yeah, I think so too.
I remember this in my head clearly because Jesse's the biggest Justin Fields fan.
Really?
Ohio
I think
State,
by
baby.
like week 5,
Massive.
week 6.
Ohio State, baby.
Massive Justin Fields fan.
No, yeah.
Last year in the NFC, before the NFC started, I was like, Jesse, what do you think about Justin Fields? He's like, well, you know, I think that if he does well, he'll be the second best quarterback in the NFC.
Dang.
Yeah, you told me that. You said he's the second best quarterback in
I
the
said
NFC.
he has the. I said if he does really, really well, he has the potential to be the second best quarterback in the NFC.
That's what he told me.
Historically speaking, I've always been low on like rookies. If it's like first, second year, I've always been like historically low on them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but yeah.
I just feel like for him, he was in a bad position. Like that team was just not.
Justin Fields.
Yeah, he's not made for him.
You know, I tell you what, you guys might get mad at me at this, but I think the Packers are a better team than the Texans.
I can.
You know what I mean? I think Jordan Love's better than CJ Stroud right now.
Okay.
Hey, you know what? I don't dislike that take because you know. Hey, listen. You could ask my brother. I have always liked Jordan Love. Even when he was drafted, I said, dude, when Dara was raging, I said, dude, I would take Jordan Love over any receiver.
Yeah.
That's fair. That is very fair.
I don't care. I remember like my boy raged for 3 years and they should have taken a receiver. I'm like, they should have taken a quarterback.
Yeah. I think it's like people who play the short term, like, oh, they could have got one more Super Bowl versus if you get another quarterback, you can get 3 more Super Bowls in the time. That's like the different mindset. Because like, that's like, not to switch sports, but like with basketball, some people, they'll trade away their entire future just for one championship versus like in football, I guess the Packers were like, you know what, we'll spend this first round pick on a quarterback so we could possibly get, 10 more years of good quarterback play and 10 more possibilities at Super Bowls.
Sometimes if you take a first round quarterback and you put him behind like a veteran, it ends up being the right pick.
That's why you like the Atlanta thing.
I honestly think that Kirk Cousins is not going to be there for that. Like I think Atlanta, like with Kirk Cousins, I think they have a potential to do well. I don't know how well, but I think Kirk Cousins is always the type of guy who always can get you to at least 500.
Mm-hmm.
He's that prototypical 500 type quarterback. But with Penix, bro, if that man gets right, that man can.
That's true.
That man can ball.
That's true.
I don't know about Kyle Pitts though. I've been seeing some videos talking about Kyle Pitts. Do you like Kyle Pitts?
If he does not do well this year, he's a bust.
That's fair.
You know, like for Penix, like it's interesting because like not a lot of receivers are like used to the left-handed spiral. You know what I mean? So that's why it's gonna be interesting to see.
That's a very good point.
Yeah. So we'll see because you see a lot of like drop balls like when they're like whatever, but he puts that like left and if you see his balls. Trust me, those are darts. Right? Those are darts. Number 1 and number 2, it's a left-handed spiral.
Yeah.
So I typically, if you ever like catch footballs and stuff, like you're never like perfect right in the center. It's always like you're looking for this hand and then you're gonna like set it with this hand, right? But you kind of have to do the opposite.
Yeah.
So like, it's gonna be interesting. So I think he might have a slower start, but when the Falcons get right, I mean they got Bijan Robinson, right? In my opinion, I think he's a top 5 running back in the league right now, even though he didn't like perform super.
Talent-wise.
Who are your top 5 running backs?
I'm actually big on. I know like people don't say it, but DeAndre Swift. I mean, he's not number 1, but I'm big on DeAndre Swift. I think he's super talented.
He is.
Isaiah Pacheco, I think he's super talented. But of course, number 1 is gonna be Christian McCaffrey.
Okay.
Right? That dude's just
monster.
Yeah, he might be like the one day he might be the GOAT.
Hey, I remember when Pacheco his first year started, I told my brother, I said, dude, this dude is literally Marshawn Lynch, like a baby Marshawn Lynch.
Yeah, exactly.
And he is nice. That man runs so violent.
I love Isaiah Pacheco. I love DeAndre Swift too. I like Jonathan Taylor too. I mean, I don't know. Like, there's like a lot I like. So we'll see.
What would you, Mr. Running Back man? Who do you think top 5 running backs are?
CMC, Jonathan Taylor. You gotta put Saquon up there.
But right now, Saquon, really?
Yes.
Yes,
Really?
like
Wow.
health aside, he's probably the best.
Wow.
Damn.
I would take him over McCaffrey.
I would say so.
Damn.
I think so.
Health aside.
Okay.
Most talented running
Yes.
back. Yes.
Yes. That was like what 3?
That's
I guess you put Bijan up there talent wise.
4.
Yeah.
Okay.
Brees Hall.
Oh yeah, Brees Hall. Yeah, that's a good one.
I'll cede that to y'all. I just know CMC.
You know,
He
what's
won me
crazy?
my fantasy league, so that's the only reason why I follow him.
I think we all agree that CMC is number 1. 2 is I think 2 is Saquon actually.
Wow.
I would say number 2 is Saquon. And this is just my opinion, but I think Derrick Henry's still top 5. I don't care what nobody says. He's still the best pure running back in the league. The man was over 30 and he still put up over 1,000 yards. And on a 32 ranked offensive line. On the 32 ranked
a beast.
offensive line where this man got hit in the backfield almost every play and he was the offense. So I'm saying that like you put him in the Ravens, I think he might have a resurgent year.
That's true.
So I think I'm a Derrick Henry fan, but I still think he's top 5.
That's true. I mean, if he performs super well, that'd be really crazy. Because, I mean, you saw what they did with who was the running back last year for the Ravens? What was his name again?
Gus
Edwards, right? Yeah, Gus Edwards. Like they didn't do much with him. They didn't really know. I feel like they didn't really know how to like run the ball really well with their backs. They kind of only did it like on the goal line kind of plays, right?
But you guys have linemen. You guys have great linemen.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like I think their run game should have been so much like better. I think, like especially in the playoffs. I don't know. So it was kind of tough. So we'll see.
Didn't they have Dalvin Cook too?
Dalvin Cook is not that good, bro.
Well, I mean, like,
I thought he was on the Jets.
yeah, but they cut him and he signed with the Ravens.
I think he did.
He had like 1 carry in a playoff game. That's why I was so confused. But I mean, there was one player on the Ravens. I think he tore his he shredded his
J.K.
knee.
Dobbins.
No, it was another guy. It's like their speedster.
Oh, Justice Hill?
No. They had like 5 running back injuries last year.
He was a baller.
He
when
was like
playing.
5. He's like a small guy, 5'8", and just like
He was a rookie,
rookie.
like 5th rounder.
Yeah,
I forgot his name, something Miller or something.
yeah. He had like a couple big runs,
Kendra Miller or something? No.
something like that. But I just remember he had a really disgusting injury. Like he planted like this, and as he bent over his leg.
I think I remember that.
Yeah. So I mean, I guess he's coming back next year. You know what they need? They just need good running back health, luck.
Oh,
Okay.
you know what? Nick Chubb.
Wow.
Yes, health
Nick
aside,
Chubb,
he's
huh?
definitely up there.
To be determined if he does play, though.
Yeah, that's a good one too.
Is-
Actually,
yeah.
Forgot
Is
about
Brees
that.
Hall really that good?
I think he is. He's a very solid runner.
Didn't he have
Okay.
1,000 yards last year?
Watch
with
him. Watch when Jets have 7 primetime games. Watch him. He's
Okay.
a very smooth runner.
Like I said, hey, I'm not a believer in Aaron Rodgers. All right.
It's not Aaron Rodgers. Just watch. The guy in the backfield.
Okay.
Wait, is Kareem Hunt and Nick Chubb both still in?
Kareem Hunt is washed, bro.
Yeah.
I told you I don't
All right.
follow too much.
All right, final thing we'll end it for the night. Top 5 receivers.
Okay,
In order?
I kind of follow. I was
You want to do in order? What
I'll
do you,
put
what y'all
Justin
want?
Jefferson number 1. Okay,
You want to go for okay?
I'll
Top
go
5.
just because I'll start with my not as good opinions, and y'all can like be like Jay. That makes no sense. Number 1, I say Justin Jefferson. I will say Tyreek Hill. I put him up there too. Jesse says CeeDee Lamb, so I'll have to put CeeDee Lamb. I know he went off. Didn't he have like 1,800 yards or something joint like that? Or I'll put CeeDee Lamb in there. I feel like I'm forgetting someone like very important, like Jamar Chase, and then number 5. I don't know. I can't really put someone there. I want to say what's his name, but it's just because he was a rookie, so it was cool. I want to say like Puka Nacua, but not really.
Okay. You want to go first for Randy? We'll go around.
Yeah.
Jamar Chase, number 1.
Truly biased. Truly biased. Jamar Chase, number 1. Number 2, which is like really close. I'll say 1A is Jamar, and then 1B is Jefferson, and then 3 I would take Tyreek. 4, Devontae Adams, and then 5 I will put. I don't want to say St. Brown.
Ooh, that's a good one actually.
5 I'll put AJ Brown.
Okay.
Ooh, yeah.
Okay.
That's similar to mine actually. So number 1, I guess. So going into the league now, I'm gonna just go Tyreek Hill number 1.
Okay.
Number 2, I'm gonna go Justin Jefferson. Actually, no. Number 2, I'm gonna go Jamar Chase. Number 3, I'm gonna go Justin Jefferson just because of Sam Darnold situation.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Number 4, I'm gonna go. I mean, I always liked Amon St. Brown. I'm gonna have to go with him. Number 4 and number 5, I'll go AJ Brown.
Okay. Mine is, and I have a top three, and then I don't have a like 1, 2, and 3. All right, the top three is Jefferson, Adams, and Lamb. Those are my top three. I think those are the 3 top dogs. I think any given week they could be number 1. Any given week they could be number 2. Any given number 3. And then the second 2 is Tyreek, and I do Jamar Chase 4 and 5. And then AJ Brown is actually, I'd say he's like a 5B. Like he can be in there too. But I just put Jamar Chase and I put Tyreek Hill for 4 and 5. All right.
Damn.
Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed that. Thank you so much for coming.
Oh yeah.
Just come,
Anytime.
yeah, just come back sometime.
I
We
got
can
you.
Chop
Yeah,
it up more.
Chiefs 3-peat. Hey, get 6-1 on your money or 5-1 on your money.
All right.
We'll talk about gambling next time.
Yeah.
All right. But thank you guys for watching. We'll catch you guys next time. Peace.
Peace.
All right, peace.